Hello everybody, welcome back to 1896 Indian House. My name's Dan and I'm working on basement windows. I've got 5 of these in various states of disrepair. Good news is they're original, still got the old wavy glass, and they're rather large. They're 30 by 30 inches, which is pretty decent size for a basement window, lots of light. Let's take a closer look. My basement windows are some of the worst offenders, rather drafty. You can actually see daylight in between the sash and the window frame. So I did what I could in the bitter cold to stop the drafts, but now it's time to take this puppy apart, re-glaze, and try to seal it properly. Make it look a little nicer would be great too. You can see where attempts have been made to just block the drafts initially with foam, rope caulk, etc., which is less than ideal. The inside window frame looks like it's never been painted. The window itself, most of them are black, some of them are white, but very old paint job. The window glazing has fallen off. Got a lot of quick repairs, foam insulation, etc. A lot of paint on the glass, the edges of the glass. So the plan is to re-glaze, wood putty, repaint, paint the hardware, the rather rusty, ugly hardware. This one doesn't have a latch on the bottom. Most of them have a latch right there to secure it. Right now it's just screwed shut, so we'll take care of that. This is the laundry room window. I mean, just painting these is gonna make it look so much better. They're in pretty good shape. A few of the basement windows do have some cracks in the panes. You can see here there's a crack that somebody put some cellophane tape over the top, so we got just the tape residue left. We'll get that cleaned up. Probably just put some silicone over the crack. And I may or may not hang a stained glass window in front of this. Not a privacy issue, but just a neat thing to do in a Victorian home, I think. You can see all the old window glazing and things that have fallen out. There was a screen on the outside. I pulled that off with a great deal of difficulty, and just put in a piece of plexiglass to seal that up better and keep the dirt out. The screen really performed no function. I never opened this window, so let's take it out. Be careful not to let the loose panes of glass fall out. So this is in pretty bad shape, I think. So I'm going to get it cleaned up, remove all the old glazing, and see if it's worth. Well, it's worth saving, but it's a question of this bottom rail, whether I have to replace it or if I can repair it. It is sagging a little bit and then pulling away from the joints. So we'll see. So get this window done, get it sealed up back in the window frame, and then do, I don't know how many, 36 more windows. They're not all this bad. This is probably the worst case scenario, but a good place to start. So I'm hoping I've got what I need. So I started removing some of the old glazing. Some of it comes off, just falls off. Some of it needs a little more persuasion. But I can tell right now it's in pretty bad shape. So I'm going to want to remove the panes of glass, refinish the wood as best I can, and determine if I need to replace this bottom piece or not. If I do have to craft a new piece, I'm going to have to up my game a little bit on my woodworking skills, but might be a good excuse to buy a new tool. So. Okay, I want to get just enough of the putty off so it frees up the glass. And I can get a little more medieval on the putty. Actually, my first opportunity to utilize these bench dogs to secure what I'm working on. I'm trying to be as careful as I can with this old glass. I really want to reuse this old weighty glass. Another reason I started working on the basement windows rather than the upstairs windows is for the learning curve. This will be my first window, so it's a basement window. It doesn't have to be perfect. It'll be sealed up nicely, efficient, painted. And I'll probably hang another one of those stained glass windows in front of it anyway. Look at that, that's coming right up. So nice. It's probably a century-old window glazing. Of course, if I break the glass right here, that'd be great for the blooper reel. Not good for me. Another point. It's not completely pointless. Got it. This angled pliers really seems to work well to remove these old points. And I'm learning that you can break the points in half, which is not ideal, depending on which direction you wiggle them. Wood is just dissolving. Because it had a screen on the outside, not a storm window, it apparently got plenty of moisture, at least on the bottom rail. And back to the windows. I've got to clean the glass up a little bit. You're going to need the glass without all the crud on it to test fit in the window frame as I'm repairing that. Okay, that pulled right out. Looks like I should try to replace this if I can fashion. This should work as a template to fashion a new piece on the bottom. And it needs to be higher anyway, so the glass has more of an edge to seat into. Of course, every project takes 3 times as long when I have to play cameraman as well, video editor. I think I'll drop the glass back in one more time, make sure I have this centered, and I'm going to notch that out a bit. There's one for the blooper reel, broke the glass. I'll have to pull a piece out of the spare window again, luckily. It took almost nothing, almost no pressure to do that. So, unfortunately I broke the glass in the other window, so luckily the house came with a spare old window. It's probably the same size glass. We'll see. But this will allow me to use the other pane here to replace another window that has a crack in it. So projects always take a little longer than you expect, it seems. Different type of points. The other window just had the little diamond-shaped points. This has got the they're kind of you can't see it, but 3D kind of L-shaped points. Did a little wood repair here and window glaze. I used the caulk tube. Had a little more control that way versus the hand-rolled putty. On the next windows, I probably won't paint the sides of the frames here. It does make the window opening and closing a little sticky. Well, it's October in Minnesota, so it's getting a little chilly. So while I'm up here, I'm going to insulate, caulk the cracks a bit. I'm using a clay rope caulk. This is gray, but it comes in brown as well. I've cut a wide strip, ripped a wide strip about the length of the window frame. I'm just going to caulk this not inside the window frame, but between the concrete and the exterior window frame. So this is intended to be in there for good. My house unfortunately has a lot of rope caulk where it shouldn't be. It was used in place of window glaze, and rope caulk will dry out eventually. It's like an oil-based clay, but it will dry out and fall off. So I guess it works as a temporary solution, but it's not a long-term solution. So I'm just ripping one row off here, but for wider gaps, obviously you can use more than one row at a time. When it's not freezing outside, this is still pretty malleable. You don't want to do this on the outside during the winter. It just won't stick, or won't mold to the place you want it. It's pretty easy to work with. I'm just jamming it in the crack. Here's that foam rope caulk, backer rod, sometimes called. Fit nicely between the window and the frame, and easily removable. And here's the finished product. Amazing what just a little bit of effort will do. Some re-glazing, painting the hardware. A little bit of caulk in the cracks. Much less drafty. Much more attractive. A couple of lumps of coal there that I got for Christmas. So here's the before shot. Bit of frost in the window panes. Here's another before shot. This one got a bit of white paint around the window as well. Replace the missing hardware. Didn't do much on this window this time around, but wanted to show it again. You might have seen this on the previous video. Before and after. Well, the basement is much nicer and more comfortable now that the windows have been restored. Thanks for watching.